Right. What's good, y'all? My name's Tony. We're here with Braxton. This is the Keep It Pushing podcast. Today we got a few topics to go over with y'all.
Starting
Um,
starting with the recent loss to the Pacers. Well, recent loss to the Knicks to the Pacers, and Halliburton ass thought he was winning conference finals MVP. Mm-mm-mm.
bro, he's such a
Crazy
bum.
work.
Bro. I checked the Statcast is baseball. I checked the box score yesterday. Bro had like 8 points at half. I'm like, bro, you're not good. Bro's getting carried by Pascal Siakam, which is like I kind of like to see that for him because to me, when I first started watching basketball, Pascal was on the Raptors. And I thought that he was pretty decent on the Raptors. So I like to see that, he's doing good somewhere else. But Tyrese Halliburton, I'm sorry, Pascal Siakam is more of a superstar to me than Tyrese Halliburton is. He's been so clutch during this finals run. Hallie had one good series, and that was against the Bucks. Other than that, bro doesn't show up every night, and it
Pascal
showed.
Siakam, neither him or Pascal is a MVP. No,
No, they're
not
not.
MVP. No, a superstar.
No, I'm yeah, no, I agree. I don't think either one of them are a superstar, but I don't know. Do they do MVPs for each side of the bracket?
Conference finals, yeah. I think it's Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I hope Brunson still gets conference finals MVP.
No, it's just for the winning team.
That's not a conference finals.
Yes, it is.
Wait, so only a person on the winning team can win conference. So only one person. So a person on the winning team in the East can win MVP.
The conference finals MVP, yes. It's rare you see a losing team, someone from the losing team win it.
That's crazy. Well, hey man, I don't make the rules, but yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in the Knicks. Um, this was the NBA's way of like, I don't know. The NBA is just so rigged because how Cavs, Celtics, and Knicks all got flushed down the drain, bro. I don't get it. But this is about to be Mickey Mouse for the Thunder. They're about to dog walk the Pacers, dude. They're not going to be able to keep up.
I say that, but I will say the Pacers have impressed me. I mean, you take a look at it, the Pacers are sort of similar like to what the Thunder are like. Not as good, but they have similar things. They just have so many bodies they can throw at you. I feel like the thing that the Thunder have over the Pacers is their defense. They have one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. And yeah, they just have so many bodies they throw at you. Wallace, obviously Shea, Jalen Williams, like and like
Alex
Caruso.
Caruso. Yep. Don't
Yeah,
forget
so it's
Alex
like
Caruso.
yeah, you definitely can't forget that, especially the way he caused havoc for Nikola Jokic in Game 7 in the semifinals. So I feel like this series will be good, but I do feel like the Thunder will get it done in 5. I don't think
Yeah.
the Pacers are gonna do anything.
I feel like Thunder might win the first two. Pacers get one. Thunder win two in a row again. So
Yeah. So it is what it is. The Thunder dominated the T Wolves in massive fashion.
yeah, that
We
was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I was watching the game, blew them out. They were up by like 40, 42 at one point. It was it was awful, bro. Julius Randle who had a decent game. He had a rough first half, and then in third quarter erupted for like 16 points. And then, but that just wasn't enough. The T Wolves just couldn't like stop the turnovers from like what the Thunder's defense caused. So it's just, bro. I don't know what do you say is next for the T Wolves at this point.
Well, I think Ant already knew what was next for him personally. I feel like he can only control so much, and then that being himself. I mean, as soon as he had the press conference, he said, "Ain't nobody gonna work harder than me this summer." So I'm expecting Mans to drop or average at least 27.5 next year because the way he talking, I feel like he really gonna do it. Besides that, though, I think they need to get. I don't even. They need more offensive score. Their defense is good. They could hold teams to low points. Like the only thing is that they don't have the scoring that they really should. Gobert isn't as dominant offensively in the paint that I feel like he could be, being 7 feet tall. Julius Randle, he's like
He was just dogging him the
semi-consistent.
other day,
Yeah. There's one day Julius Randle will wake up and be a dog, and then there's the next, and he just
but he was
left.
good the whole playoff series.
He-
He can be
All
a
right,
good piece.
yeah, he's a good piece, but like I said, he had 2 6-point showouts in that series. If we could go and
But
look, hold on, let me go look at this because you keep saying Julius Randle, Julius Randle didn't
blame
show
can't
up.
all be put on Julius Randle. Anthony
I didn't.
Edwards
I
was.
didn't say everything was on Julius
I'm
Randle.
not
I just,
not
I just got
saying
to
that.
talk.
I'm just saying part of you
No,
got to
you just
split the blame
no.
between
Hold on,
and
you hold on. I didn't. I'm not only blaming Julius Randle. I just got done saying what Rudy Gobert couldn't do. You're not listening, my boy.
I understand that. But I'm saying we got to throw some blame towards Anthony Edwards too. He wasn't being as
Trust me, I'm
aggressive.
getting there. Trust me, I'm getting there. But you won't let me just finish my thought process. So
All right, bro.
they all to blame.
You ain't had this shit pulled up already.
No, I didn't have it pulled up already. Just like you couldn't get your situation figured out. All right, we got Ant. I'm sorry, but this is way more consistent than what Randall was giving you. Yeah, 18 points is that's not good. I mean, but he had 9 rebounds, 3 assists. He had a block. His turnover is bad. He had 4. And was turning the ball over a lot. 4 turnovers. He had 1 perfect game where he had no turnovers, 6 assists, only 1 personal foul. That's a top tier game for Ant, shooting 46.2% from the field, but only 11.1% from the three. And that's something else that messed over Minnesota. Their 3-point percentage was so low. And it's like in today's NBA, when your 3-point percentage is that low, you really have to rely on getting your twos or drawing fouls, stuff like that.
They
Which just
weren't the T Wolves were never gonna win this series, especially like specifically because of the Thunder defense.
yes,
And
the defense is good, but I mean, when you look at the shooting, they weren't shooting well.
because if you like when you watch the game, the way the Thunder are playing defense, they pretty much there's no shot that goes uncontested for the most part when you play the Thunder. And
And
like
that's what
they're
go
always
ahead.
active, bro. So it's like it makes it harder for teams like at this point like to get shots.
It's hard, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's like they aren't making it easy for them. Like
Well,
they
yeah,
actually
no,
got
nothing should
these
be
tough
easy.
buckets.
It's the Western Conference Finals. Nothing's gonna be easy. I don't want nothing to be given to nobody. But when you look at this, it's like we all knew it was always talked about. They were not shooting good threes. When you have a team going out there and trying to put up 30 threes and they're only making 8, 9, 10, 11 of them, that's not good. 43s a
Yeah,
game, 43 threes, and they barely scratched double digit completions on them.
and
So
it's
it's
pretty
like,
much the same formula that the Celtics have. The Celtics would live or die by the three,
and
and
look
that
at
comes
they
back to
died
bite
by
them.
it.
Yeah, well, it then also didn't help that Jason Tatum got injured, but
That's
they got
weren't they already down
destroyed.
2-0 during that?
No, they were down. What's it called? I think it was that was the final game of the series. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. That he got hurt, or no, he played. I think they were
No,
down
they
2-0.
played 2 games without Tatum, I think.
Yeah, it was in game three. No, that
But yeah, but I mean, besides that,
no, that was game five. That was the final series, the game of the
and
series.
during
I remember.
and during okay, and during his last 10, so these are all playoff games, I'm pretty sure. 48.5% from the field, 36.2% from the three, 80% free throw, averaging 5 rebounds, 4.3 assists, a block, a steal, 2.6 fouls, 2.7 turnovers, averaging 28.2 points in the last 10. Now, when you take a look at Julius Randle, I don't think his numbers are this good and they're not as consistent. The averages aren't high. If your averages aren't, at least decent, that means that you just have skewed games. Like, let me see.
He played good against the Nuggets. And honestly, there was
Yeah,
like a lot of times where he outplayed Ant in that series.
yeah. All right, here goes Julius Randle in his last 10. So 33 minutes, 51.5% from the field. That's actually pretty decent. 42.0% from three. That's good. I don't think he takes nearly as many shots, but that's still good. The completion percentage is good. Free throw 78.6, rebound 7.3, assist 4.9. This is where I start getting upset. Bro, you 6'9". You not that old. You only 30. You can't give me a block a game and you barely giving me a steal a game.
Oh, and correct me. I didn't mean to say the Nuggets. I meant to say the Golden State Warriors because they played. That's who they played. He had an amazing series against the Warriors and then also the Lakers. So
Warriors, yes. He showed out for the Warriors, yes.
and in the
For the
Lakers
Lakers,
series.
yes. But then you get in the conference finals, and this is what you do, bro. You have one game, you go 2 for 11. Another game, you go 1 from 7. 5 turnovers.
He still makes an impact with the scoring though. I
He had
understand he
5
had the
points.
six. I understand he had the 2 games where he scored 6 and 5, but the other 3 games he did his part.
Yes, he
That's
had
just credit.
24,
That's
24,
just
20.
credit.
But that's
That's just
but that's
credit
just
to the
what I'm
Thunder's
saying.
defense. That's just
Credit to the Thunder's defense, but why on the games where Ant did good, he did bad. They never could get in sync. I don't That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like the consistent, and I guess you could say they're both inconsistent. I'm not gonna sit here and act like Ants, Michael Jordan and LeBron had a baby. Like, but still, that's what I'm saying. They're scoring. They
and the
low key
reason why.
need one more.
And I say credit to their defense again because they were pressing Ant the whole time, bro. There was times where this man was getting pressed up the court, bro.
And I
And as soon as
understand that.
they just Thunder had their defense on lock. We'll just leave it at that. But
I ain't never said that. I know the Thunder got a good defense. We've been talking about that for a minute. It used to be Minnesota, but now it's not.
yeah, Thunder always. I feel like for the past 2 seasons had a better defense than the T Wolves,
On
especially
paper,
this
the
season.
T Wolves had the best defense in the league last year. You cannot argue that on paper, at least.
Because they had 2 7-footers and Gobert like helped was a main anchor for that, but he's overrated. If that defense was truly as good as it was seemed, they'd be doing what the Thunder were doing right now.
Um,
Anyways, I want to talk about like we had talked about the Thunder and the Pacers both having their teams make it to the finals and using such a big roster, bro. I low key want to run some by you about how like the fact that the correlation between these teams having success this season is pretty crazy, bro. When you look at some of these teams that are like made it far in the playoffs, made good runs. These teams that are bottom of the payroll. Pacers are 16th. Wait, no, Pacers are 18th, and the Thunder are 25th. And the fact that like that's huge, bro, because they can afford to get away with like having good players and like not have to worry about the what's it called payroll or the salary cap going into the second apron. The Pacers bench averaged 40 points a game against the Cavs, and I'm pretty sure I haven't looked at the averages against the Knicks, but they for sure average. I'm saying at least 25, and that's huge in playoffs. You, you sticking with me?
yeah, I'm here. I don't know what you want me to say. You just covered it yourself.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say something else. All right,
I
this is
mean, yeah, what do you want me to say? Yeah, the Pacers. the Pacers bench and the Thunder bench is like the teams are super comparable, like you said. Like, I mean, when you got your bench guys able to come off and give you points, that's good. And some teams struggle with that. They have people come off the bench and they go 1 for 7 or something like that during their minutes. So,
Yeah.
but
And
I think it's just the way that the team is built. Like, they got personnel for defense. They got personnel if they need scoring. You got people like Obi Toppin and Aaron Neesmith and Andrew Nemhard. Those guys are like, on other teams are role players, but on the Pacers, they're like those guys. So it's like, I mean, they're options, and they got a lot of them. T.J. McConnell. So they just got a lot of depth,
yeah.
and sometimes more depth is better than money.
Mm, I mean, yeah. I've seen a prime example of that was the 2011 finals between what's it called damn, I'm drawing a blank right now. The Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks. People would talk about how that big three was supposed to easily run through the Dallas Mavericks, but the Mavericks had not only had Dirk Nowitzki, but they
They had
had a
Jason
solid.
Kidd too, right?
Yeah, that was towards like later in his career, but it's like they was had a bunch of good role players: Tyson Chandler, Jason Terry, Sean Marion. So it's like, and the Heat didn't have anybody else outside of the big three. So
That's what I'm saying. You can't sit there and spend all your money on three dudes. Your three dudes probably really good scorers. They get you some blocks and steals, but some dudes are better at playmaking. Like, that's just kind of how it goes, setting it up.
and a
So
team like that, right now is pretty much the Phoenix Suns. You look at what they got: Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant. That team has like no money to spend, and they're going to be above the second apron as once at the beginning of the next season, 25-26 season.
yeah, that team could benefit from getting people like, I don't know. You just need role players. Not everybody can just want to score the ball. So I've always wanted to see the Suns do good, but then they just sat there and got owned by the Mavs every year. And
And it's also moves that the front office has made. Like they've made a trade for Bradley Beal. You can't. Bradley Beal is unmovable now because of his contract situation. He has a no trade clause. So any team that you may find a deal that might help you out, he can easily just go like, no, I don't want to go. So right now, I feel like the best option is possibly they may not want to, but the best option is probably to move Kevin Durant. That's that's what the Phoenix Suns should probably look at doing.
no, because y'all move Kevin Durant, he go back to the Warriors. Y'all will be mad. Don't do that.
He ain't going back to the Warriors. He's already
I
said
bet
he's
you he
not.
would. I bet you he would.
He's already told Steph he don't want to come back. So
KD is a super villain. Okay,
mm-mm.
KD's
KD's
a
not gonna
super
go back
villain.
there. KD will probably end up on like some team like the Spurs or the Mavericks.
I wouldn't mind seeing him on the Mavs. That'd actually be a crazy mix.
Mm,
AD, KD, and Kyrie. Okay, well, looks like
the
Braxton.
ones
Oh,
what happened?
you were frozen.
Not only are the Suns a team that's above the second apron, the Cavs and the Celtics both join them. And to talk about this real quick, Celtics are a team. Celtics, their championship window is pretty much, we could probably say it's closed because not only the Jason Tatum injury, but you also have, like I said, the second apron. So you're gonna have to move some of these players. Anyway, do you know what? Before I keep going, do you know what the second apron is?
No, what is that?
So it's pretty much rules in place to like punish teams for going above like really high above the salary cap. So I know
Mhm.
one of the things I was looking at, it was like a thing that they would have rule is like the first round draft pick that's like 7 years out. If they're above it for I think 2 or 3 seasons, that draft pick gets frozen, so they can't trade it away or anything. And
Mm.
then after another season, that draft pick will get, or maybe another 1 or 2 seasons, that draft pick gets automatically put at the bottom of that draft, that first round draft.
Oh wow.
So even if they're a bad team, they aren't going to get a good draft pick just because of how they are. And it's because it's like it's in place to make sure like owners like the Clippers owner, who is one of the, I think, the richest NBA owner in the league, can't just buy players and like just run the market and stuff. So
Mm. Well, I mean, that's a good way to do it. Maybe baseball should do something like that, but there's so
yeah,
many guys, it wouldn't even really matter.
like Celtics, like they lost. Like I said, they lost Jason Tatum. Now there's already been talks about what they're gonna have to do with that roster because right now, with how they are, they have to get rid of some players. Um, I know for a fact they're probably going to get rid of Kristaps Porzingis. Maybe try to trade Derek White and Drew Holiday. What do you think?
Something tells me to like just keep Drew Holiday because of the defense. I mean, I feel like I feel like he fits that team pretty well. I feel like I don't know. We just been watching the same Celtics teams for a while. Besides adding Kristaps and Drew Holiday from the Bucks, but well, I know Kristaps didn't come from the Bucks, but I feel like Kristaps is expendable, in my opinion. Like he does, he does do well against big centers and like power forwards. He's got good like fundamental basketball skills. But I feel like he's expendable. You can go get two more players for what you pay him. So it's like, and then on top of that, I don't think you get rid of Drew Holiday. You could go get someone for Derek White. I feel like his value has gone up in the recent years. But I think you keep Drew Holiday.
Yeah, because I don't think the what's it called? Because like you were talking about Kristaps Porzingis, I think pretty much from watching the playoffs, he fell out of favor in that Knicks series. He
Yeah,
was a
he
starter, and then he was getting moved off the bench, and then dropped to down to only having like 14 minutes. So obviously,
I don't know what's up with him. I don't know if it was the injuries or what. I don't know if it was a late start to his year or I don't know, he just didn't get into the swing of things fast enough, but he wasn't a factor. Like, and that was the problem. He wasn't Peyton Pritchard was more of a factor than he was at one point.
yeah.
So
So
it's that's how you know it's time. Like, bro, your time's up here. And I mean, the Celtics should have caught on. I mean, yeah, they got one championship out of him, but even then, he was injured during the championship series. So,
yeah,
but
it was a win
if
that
the
they got a
Knicks,
championship in that window. But
yeah,
like,
if the Knicks didn't want him, you shouldn't have wanted him, bro.
well, he came from the Mavericks. He was straight.
He
Wait, I'm trying to
I
think
thought he
if
was
he
on the
was.
Knicks, or did he go from the Knicks to the Mavs and
He
then
went from
to
the Knicks. He
Boston?
went from the Knicks to the Mavs, and then from the Mavs to the Wizards, and then I think from the Wizards to the Celtics. I might be wrong about that. He or either that or he might have went from the Mavs to the Celtics. I know he played for the Wizards.
He played for the Wizards at one point. I remember that's when I started watching basketball and I found out about him. Hmm.
But yeah, I
Yeah, he's
don't know.
expendable.
And back to the third team that was on that list, the Cavs. This is probably by far probably the most disappointing because on paper, when you look at it, this was their year because now, like I said, they're going to be above the second apron, and now players like Evan Mobley's on paper is supposed to get 4 times what he's getting paid now.
Dang.
So they missed their window to have a cheap roster and win a championship. And then there's players who I kind of remember who's a free agent. I think it's either Tom Jerome. Who the fuck is Tom Jerome? Ty Jerome might be a free agent, or I have to look at that real quick. But yeah, like there's players that you have that roster was set to be able to come like win a championship now, and they probably might have screwed it. Now, the one way I could see they could possibly move around this, get rid of um where's it called? Darius Garland. We talked about it in the previous podcast. Go ahead and ship him out. I think it's time. It's obviously not proven to be a good fit. Like he works at times, but then in the big games he disappears. We saw it when he played the Celtics multiple times earlier this year. The man cheeks got tight, couldn't score a
Well,
bucket. So
yeah, I've never been a big fan of Darius Garland either. I've watched games or like, tracked games while Donovan Mitchell's going to be out because you think that okay, Darius Garland's going to come in here and he's going to, pick up the slack. No. I'm sorry, but Darius Garland is a bum to me, dude. He's not all that to me. So I feel like he's expendable just like Darius Garland is to the Cavs what Kristaps Porzingis is to the Celtics, in my opinion. He's not that much of a factor. He does show up sometimes, but I feel like they need to keep DeAndre Hunter. If they really want to, they could re-sign Ty Jerome. Those are those guys that, you know, that 3-point shooting, the
it was a huge
consistency.
part for them.
Yeah, that's a big part of them. And also Donovan Mitchell's usage was down this season. I don't know if it was a different way that they wanted to try to play it.
It was the way to help get everybody involved, and you saw it helped. It got
And
helped
it
Evan
helped out a
Mobley.
lot. But then, you turn his usage down, and now he's picking up all the load because Darius Garland doesn't want to play because his finger hurts. So then now there's more stress on the team in that situation, and your plan starts to fall apart all because of. I won't say it was just because of one person, but I really don't think that the Pacers should have been able to hang with the Cavs during that series.
Like if the Cavs had everybody playing, like they would have won that series.
They would
I
have won.
firmly believe that because their key players missed. I think the first two games.
Yep.
Then Stephen A. Smith had said something, and then they all showed up, and then for like game 3, I believe, and then they won that one, and then they lost the final 2, and it
But
was
I feel like the Pacers are the team where I don't know. They come out, they play super hard those first 2 games. Like they play super hard. Yeah, they probably won't beat you 3 in a row, but if you don't win at least one of those first 2, you might be cooked, bro. Because those dudes, they be coming out and they be trying to put these teams away. They come out, I asked some dudes, they come 5, 6, 7, 8 times.
what?
You ain't never seen that video before?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but oh my gosh. So Thompson, Tristan, Tristan Thompson had made a comment saying that he believes that they'll be back to playing in June soon. Do you agree with this statement?
Tristan Thompson needs to
And
go
how
sit up
soon?
underneath one of them Kardashians somewhere and leave the league alone, man. We done, brother. You done, bro. We is over you, G. Your time is over. You should have left. You should have been done with basketball when LeBron left Cleveland. That's when it was raps for you. I'm sorry. You've been a bum ever since, bro. I didn't seen him on TMZ more than I have on NBA. That don't make no sense. You're done. You're cooked, bro. We don't want you no more.
What's that one clip with Colin Cowherd? We're good, bro. You can leave now.
We don't care. We don't care. This would be like, I don't even know. Who do I even say? I feel like there is no other athlete I could be like, they can make news that they want to get back into the league, and everyone's like, we don't care, bro.
I mean, Tristan Thompson was with the Cavs. I don't know if you.
No, I don't care though. I don't care. If Tristan Thompson is with the Cavs, okay, hear me out. You can't be that good. Still, you got to be a little washed, bro. Because Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, these dudes are 10 times better than him. I would say they better than if they was on the Cavs when LeBron was there. They would have beat that Golden State team. I'm sorry, bro. But Tristan Thompson,
I don't know. That team was loaded. You had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and what's it called, Kevin Durant. Let's be
man,
honest.
I get it, but man, that Jared Allen Evan Mobley duo, there was something about that duo that was just like, yes, bro. Like you got a center that actually wants to play center, and you got a power forward that can play like a center too. You're right. Maybe I was stretching. That Avengers level threat team. That was OD. I don't know why the commissioner allowed that to happen. But
especially since but it was a different commissioner at the time.
Oh,
I was
okay.
about to. I was about to say. No, I was about to say something about. Especially since Chris Paul, that trade got vetoed for him to be sent to the Lakers, so he team up with Kobe. But that was David Stern, who was the commissioner at the time.
Oh,
But you
I
never
guess that
answered the
lead us
question.
into his. Wait, what'd you say?
You never answered the question. Do you agree with Tristan Thompson's statement
What did he say?
that he believes that the Cavs will be back to playing in June and soon? And I was saying, do you agree? And if so, how soon?
Back to playing in June, brother. That means y'all got to make the finals. I ain't gonna lie. Them boys might be cooked for a couple of years. You get. You mean you about to go play in you? This was y'all historic season. I was ready to bet all 10 of my fingers and toes on y'all to win the chip this year because
You
y'all was
lucky.
y'all man, bro. Y'all was tearing the East up. I ain't see nobody better than them in the East.
And they were the team that was like the Celtics were favored, and the Cavs were the team that was favored to beat the Celtics and make it to the finals.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But Darius Garland, like Braxton said, booty cheeks got tight. I don't know, bro. I in near future, Henry Ruggs the third gonna be out of prison before y'all back in June. Henry Ruggs will touch a football field before the Cavs play a game in June.
Nah, that's wild.
I'm willing to take bets on that, bro. There is no way you do history twice in a row. You get, I mean, no, bro. You're not playing in June anytime soon. I'll probably
Yeah.
have a kid before they're playing in June. I'm 22.
Nah, that's crazy.
Like,
I
come
feel
on, bro.
depend. I'll probably be able to answer that question depending on how well they like handle this off season. If they can like retain some of the like Ty Jerome or like make some moves and get what?
Hear me out. Evan Mobley for Julius Randle.
No, that's ridiculous. No,
I just want the Timberwolves to do good. I'm sorry.
no, no. If the Cavs want to win, they better not make that move, bro.
See,
Evan Mobley has Evan
I,
Mobley has a higher ceiling than Julius Randle has.
Evan Mobley is going to be one of the best power forwards we've seen in a long time. He ain't going to be LeBron. Wait, is LeBron a small forward or a power forward?
Small forward. I
You
mean,
said small forward?
yeah, but in today's positionless basketball, he's a point forward.
Point forward. He needs to stop making stuff up.
I mean, it's not really. It's so he's a point. He has the skill set of a guard, but he's just a forward.
How about we just call it the LeBron position? How about that? Anyway, um, yeah, bro. Evan Mobley's going to be one of the best power forwards we've seen in a long time, dog. Like,
I can't really say a long time. Anthony Davis is a power forward, but they just wanted to throw. Lakers wanted to throw him in the center position.
okay, well, okay, Anthony Davis, but he's gonna be, Evan Mobley's still young, bro. He's got a lot of time left, and like you said, his ceiling is high, bro. I'm sorry, but he's a baller. I like him.
Yeah,
That
I
man can
agree.
hoop.
All right.
So
Well,
you said the old commissioner vetoed Chris Paul to go to LA to play with Kobe.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So no commissioner ever in the history of basketball would ban Haliburton from going anywhere. So we had some says is Haliburton on the level as Chris Paul? Absolutely not.
Oh yeah.
Are you really
I,
gonna
I
ruin this moment? I absolutely have to. No, you're not on the same level as Chris Paul.
I I saw people saying like on Twitter saying that, oh yeah, he's on the level of Chris Paul and he's gonna pass him. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, no. There's a reason why. There's a reason why you call.
I'm sorry.
There's a reason why we call Chris Paul the point guard, bro. One of that top 5 point guards for sure in the NBA.
Yeah, bro is
Easily.
I was watching some clips of him, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He was making people touch the earth, bend over, shake,
Mhm.
shake that thing. I don't even know. He was doing crazy stuff with the ball. And he hit a three to cut the lead to 42. Have you ever seen anybody else do that before?
Nah, no.
He hit a
So
three to cut the lead to 42.
I mean, that's Celtics got annihilated by Luca, but like, no, honestly, it's just a bunch of recency bias, bro. For being honest, Chris Paul is a superstar.
Yes.
Halliburton hit some clutch shots in playoffs, even like recent years. But is he doing like what Chris Paul was a great two-way player, bro? That's something people don't really think about. Chris Paul was first team defense, all defense type player. So it's like you got to mention that Halliburton is not on that level of defense. Is he a good playmaker? Is he like yes? Does he have his games? Yes, but I guarantee you we were not seeing Chris Paul having a lot of inconsistent games as we've seen Halliburton have. Now, if Halliburton goes and becomes a little more consistent, then we could be like, okay, there might be a conversation. He's on a trajectory to do it. I mean, you could probably say he's on a trajectory now, but honestly, he's where we stand now. No, hell no.
Yeah, no. Oh no. I just feel like, well, no, I do know. You can't compare a lot of people to prime Chris Paul, because
Yeah,
that dude was a different beast. I wasn't watching basketball back then, so I had to see. I was like, Chris Paul, like what? Like I knew about Chris Paul, but like,
he was a dog until until Steph Curry made him do the nay nay.
wait, what?
You ain't see that clip
Oh,
where
I
he
remember that. Gee, that was Chris Paul.
yeah, Chris Paul was still he was still good after that, but that man definitely Steph Curry made that man do the nay nay mid
Hey,
game.
yo, wait, who was he playing for then? Was it the Clippers?
Yeah, it was the
Yeah, I
Clippers.
saw that clip. I saw that clip. I was like, dang. I didn't know what
Did
I
a
was looking.
double
I knew I
did a
was looking at
double behind the back fadeaway too.
the.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no, bro.
All right. But moving on to NFL for Stephon Diggs Wilding, bro. What is we doing, bro? This man gets
Bro
a
had
brand new
that pink.
contract.
Bro had the pink snow on the boat with the snow bunnies, and they was calling him daddy. You about to have a Diddy case, bro.
They was calling him daddy.
Yeah, he was like, "What's my name?" He was like, "Daddy." She was like, "Daddy." I was like,
What?
"Her."
And he with Cardi B.
I, he probably was just.
I've seen reports saying he with Cardi B. I was like, what?
He
I was
probably.
like, damn, that's
He
crazy.
had that. He had that watermelon sugar.
He had that booger sugar.
Man, he had that watermelon sugar. They said pink substance, watermelon sugar.
Is it like as a number one receiver, you can't, bro. As a you just can't be doing that, bro.
See, this is why, you know, our people, we just can't have a win, bro. Because sometimes you just got people like him, like you got all this money, bro. Like, and you over here on a boat with some Beckies playing with your nose.
Like, bro, like you can't be like you're supposed to be a like yeah, you're kind of supposed to be a role model. You're supposed to be like make set an example, and you just like they brought you in there for a reason. Stay out of
Right.
trouble and like just do your job. I understand the NFL gets a bad rap as being known as a no fun league, but it's not like they don't allow you to do anything. Just don't be doing stupid stuff. And that one is something stupid. And now you got your coach out here trying to like in a bad spot. We haven't even the season hasn't even started yet. You got the coach out here trying to answer questions to the media like, I don't know what's going on. We can't be doing like that. Just
OTAs and
things
11
like,
on 11s just started, and this is what we get already, bro.
and it's kind of been. I mean, I guess I can't say I'm surprised because I don't. You've probably seen that video where it was going around asking, when Diggs was on the Vikings, and they were asking his teammates, who is somebody you would not let your your sister date, and they all pretty much said
Stephon
Stephon
Diggs, bro.
Diggs. So, yeah, that says a lot. But yeah, you've already stated your opinion on that. More, that man had that powder.
Man.
But real quick, what do you think? What do you think the likelihood is that Justin Fields has a career season this year for the Jets?
I don't know, bro. I just feel like nothing good has come from that part of New York in a long time. He wasn't developed properly. Like,
Chicago.
yeah, the Chicago Bears and like quarterback QBs is as if the MLB drafted someone and just threw them on the team day one. No single A, no double A, no triple A. They do not develop their players well. And think about it, when Justin Fields got to the league, he was our age, like, or maybe even younger. So you 21 and you trying to figure out how to play this grown man game because you was playing it against other people who thought like you not too long ago. Now you're playing against people who have been doing this for a long time and seen a lot of stuff, and they know how to move better. And then you don't get developed well. Now you keep getting bounced from team to team. You took a lot of hits with that first team because you didn't know how to build a team in order for you to stay healthy. It's just, I don't know. He got played. The Bears played him over. The Bears are consistently playing QBs over and over and over and over again. And history shows, bro. We've had like 20 QBs in the last, I don't know how many years, bro. Since the year 2000 struck, we have had 20 plus QBs, and I'm getting tired of it. And I kind of feel bad for the guy. I wanted to see him do good so bad, but it's not possible. I'm sorry. No, he doesn't have a career season. His career season was him putting up rushing yards like Michael Vick, and that's because he was running for his life. Anybody would put up rushing yards like Michael Vick when you got to run like a dog chasing you every day, bro.
I feel like what's his name? I feel like there's a chance that he has a career year. He has weapons around him. Not to, you got Brees Hall, you got what's his name? You got Garrett Williams. Garrett Williams. Who the hell is Garrett Williams? You got Garrett Wilson, and then you also have like secondary receivers and Alan Lazard, who people be like, oh, he's buns. He's not that bad,
He's not bad
honestly.
at all, dude. I like Alan Lazard.
Now you can still go out there and get another receiver if needed, but like Alan Lazard is not a trash pick for a second receiver. So pair that with their offensive line is also improved from what it was a few years ago. So I say there's a possibility he does have a career year.
You
You
think
just gotta wait
3,000
and see.
passing?
Yeah, I feel like it easily.
I would
I'll
say
go ahead and say I'm gonna be bold. I'll say Justin Fields has 35. I mean
okay.
3,500 passing yards.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So in order for you to like someone who's on the Bears, they had to be an ex-Bear player. That's what. Okay. Got it. All right. Just making sure. I can
Yeah,
see
I called it.
3,500 with where he's at.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, honestly, that's pretty much about it, bro.
You got to go into your baseball game. Braxton's got a baseball game. Odds on him to hit a home run, we got plus 560. Who's taking it?
All right, bro.
I'll be the bookie.
I mean, by the time this comes out or anybody sees it, the thing is gonna be closed, so
Oh, you're right.
it ain't gonna
Well, if
matter.
we were live streaming, I guess I could be a bookie.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But that's been all for this episode of Keep It Pushing. We thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever we drop a video. And also make sure you share with your mama, your granny, your aunties, your brothers, anybody. Spread the word. Give them
Yo,
some
friend,
news.
sister.
You'll find okay. This man weird. We'll catch y'all later in the next episode.